TIFU by calling the police to check on my neighbor. Well, I just set myself up for a good telling off by my neighbor. My partner and I haven't seen our neighbor for 6 weeks. She lives alone, is in her 60s, suffers from severe emphysema, and is usually always at home. In the 8 years we've been here, I don't think she's ever been on holiday. We see her on our camera every other day going to her bin, pruning her garden, or we see her lights on when we go for a walk or leave the house. But lately, nothing. A couple of weeks back, I knocked on her door to check, no answer. My partner has been telling me to call the police, but I've been reluctant because I know she is Indian and may have gone to visit family abroad. Well, today I finally asked for a welfare check by the police. They told me to knock on the door again, still nothing. I shouted through the letterbox, nothing. I looked through the window, the curtains were open, lights off, and I could see into the kitchen, nobody there. They asked for her name, but I didn't know it. I just know she has a daughter who lives away and rarely visits. She gets her shopping delivered, but that hasn't happened since before we noticed she was missing. They said they would check the hospital and send someone around. Well, I hung up and left it at that, expecting nothing would happen that day. Midnight came, and I heard a knock on the door. My partner and I are night owls, so it was fine. The police were back, so I explained everything again and mentioned her daughter. I assumed they would reach out to the next of kin to find out about her. Nope. 30 minutes later, they returned, and I heard a loud boom. My house, which is detached, practically shook from the deep banging of their doorbuster. I heard it 6 times, then told my wife, "Oh no, it's starting now?" My other neighbors have kids, so I knew this would wake them up. It continued, and I wondered why the house was shaking so much. I looked out the window, and my neighbor's lights were on. Great. Here's some explaining to do tomorrow, I told my wife. After more banging, I wondered if they were struggling. Then I thought they could go out the back. After a small pause, I checked the back window and saw a police officer there. They had been hammering the gate that is part of my house. Now I have to check tomorrow if they've damaged it. By this time, my neighbor had come out to see what was going on, along with 2 other neighbors. I decided to talk to them and the police officer, who was telling everyone what was happening. They kept banging on the door for what felt like 20 to 30 minutes. The officer looked tired and passed it to another officer who also looked worn out. The police officer told us anything could have happened, so I was right to call. I said, "I wasn't expecting you to start knocking the door down at 1 a.m. She said they couldn't leave the scene unchecked, anyone could be inside. They kept banging because the rear entrance is a conservatory, and breaking the door would likely damage the structure. After more banging, we all got bored and went back inside. After a few minutes, I looked out again, and I saw they were in, torches going around room to room. Then I realized they wouldn't be looking in all the rooms if there was a body. She's not in the house, she's gone on holiday. She's gonna be so mad at me." The police officer came out and said, "Well, she's not in." At that moment, I knew what was going to happen. This old lady, who suffers from emphysema, is off enjoying a holiday while her neighbor ruined it all, and she can't even get into her own home. She'll return to a house she can't enter at 1 a.m. I asked the officer about next steps. They said they'd board up the door and the gate and leave a note for her to reach out to them. I asked about the damage, hoping it would be covered, and they said yes, she just needed to call. That was a relief, but she'd still be left without a door, thinking she was robbed. Then the kicker came, "Yeah, we'll try to reach her next of kin to see if they know where she is." So now I'm thinking either they didn't bother reaching out to her family, or they couldn't get in touch. Either way, I have a lot of explaining to do. TLDR, I haven't seen my neighbor in 6 weeks, so I called the police to break down her door. Turns out she just wasn't home. Update, a kind Redditor suggested I offer our guest room for a night. I spoke with my partner, and when she comes back, we'll put her in a hotel for a couple of days while the door is repaired.
If you liked this video, make sure you hit the like button and comment down below your thoughts. Also don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos like this.